How's it going? So here in my bedroom, I'm gonna do my Superman review. I have to take my dog to get surgery, so I'm gonna be out of the office all day, which means I can't record it in my studio. Um, so I figured I'll just do it from my phone. I saw it last night. That way, it's fresh in my mind. I was gonna do one last night, but I was too tired. Um, so I give it. I'm just gonna tell you what I give it, and then I'll explain why I gave it what I give it. I give it like a 7 out of 10. Like I liked it. There's a lot of things to like about it, but I didn't love it. Um, like some of the things that stand out that are really really good was I thought Crypto was good. It was a good comic relief, and I love dogs, so it was good seeing Crypto. I thought he was pretty useful, and another standout role was Mr. Terrific. I mean, for lack of better of a word, he was terrific. So he was great. He was like very much a scene stealer. I really liked him a lot. I was surprised how much I liked him. Um, Guy Gardner was pretty good. I thought he was going to be pretty good to begin with, but yeah, he was funny and he's pretty good. Um, Another side character, Hawk Girl, was worthless, just worthless. She had this stupid battle cry where she screamed like a hawk every like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh my god, shut up, like, like I don't know if it's gonna annoy people as much as it annoyed me because the problem is I watched it on IMAX, and by the way, I'm never watching anything in IMAX ever again. I've only seen this is the first time I ever watched something in IMAX. It's like going to 3D. Like, why are you paying extra to watch something that's worse? And so it's IMAX, a bigger screen. Okay, I don't never once did I go to the theater and go like, I need a bigger screen. But whatever, that's fine. The thing that sucks about IMAX is the sound. They're like, oh, you get the new IMAX, better sound, better sound, better sound, better sound. All you do is turn up the high frequencies, so it pierces my ear. Me and my wife both walked out of there and thought we went to a rock concert. Our ears were ringing. It makes it worse. It makes it vastly worse. Never do I ever go to the theater and go like, man, I really can't hear anything. Like, I'm not deaf. Like, the normal theaters are just fine. You don't need to boost the sound. And when you boost the sound, why are you just boosting the highs? It's stupid. IMAX is a horrible experience. I will never, ever see anything in IMAX again. I'm sorry. I'm not deaf. I can hear just fine when I go to a normal theater. I don't need things to be ear-piercing. My wife was like plugging her ear because it was making it like it's horrible. It was very ear-piercing. Maybe it was just the random theater I was at where the IMAX was like, didn't know what they're doing. Just like cranked the volume so high. Nonetheless, besides that, Hot Girl, not very good. Like Superman himself, he was okay. Like personally, I like Christopher Reeves better. Henry Cavill, I thought he looked like Superman, and there's a lot of things I liked about him, but he was given a horrible story and horrible script. So the words coming out of his mouth and the direction he was going to. So I don't blame Henry Cavill. This Superman that James Gunn has presented is not like the father figure, like the Captain America, the Superman from Christopher Reeves, the Superman from Justice League Unlimited, that TV show. He's not that type of Superman. He's a little more like a normal person kind of thing, struggling. That's the thing about I didn't like the Henry Cavill. Like, he's always struggling on knowing what is right and wrong. I like the Superman where he's like, this is right, this is wrong. End of story. This Superman is a little mix of those both. Like, he's a little more, I know what I'm kind of doing, but at the same time, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, with Superman, the thing he never second guesses himself. He's like, this is the right thing to do. This is what we're going to do. Kind of like that Captain America. And that's what I like about Superman. Like, it's never Superman can change his mind for sure, and he can be wrong. But, I just like that Christopher Reeves. That to me is Superman. He's not. There's a lot more jokes in this. So if you and the jokes land. I'll say that. All the jokes pretty much land. There's no joke that I'm like, nah. So all the jokes land. That's pretty great. Lois Lane's is whatever. I don't know. My wife doesn't like her. She thinks she's too old. The actress is too old to play Lois Lane. She's fine. She's whatever. Lex Luthor. I like Nicholas Hoult. He looks, when you think Lex Luthor, he looks identical to Lex Luthor. The problem with Nicholas Hoult is his voice is a little higher pitched. And so when you're watching him deliver these lines that are supposed to be menacing, you're supposed to be scared, they just don't hit because his voice makes you think like he's like a young adult and a little more whining. Think like, if you want a menacing voice, think like Walter White from Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, like that voice, it makes you feel something deep down. Like wow, this is really menacing. You don't get that from Nicholas Hoult, so I think it was a miscast. He looks like him, but it doesn't work. And that's why I give this movie a 7 out of 10. That's the biggest fault of this movie, is the emotional weight is not there at all. Not at all, but for the most part. Anything you're trying to make people feel other than laughter, it doesn't land. It doesn't land. The jokes land. The action lands. That stuff lands. That stuff's good. But the emotional weight doesn't land. There's many scenes where there's probably like 3 or 4 scenes where you're going to get this emotional weight, and it just doesn't hit because there's a joke there. There'll be a joke. Like, you're supposed to feel something, and bam, throws in a joke. And you're just like, you just take away from that emotional scene. Like, Lex Luthor straight up shoots a guy in the head, and Superman's supposed to grapple with the fact that he let this happen. He didn't really let this happen, but in his mind, he let this come to this point. And Superman's begging for him, just don't do it, because Superman's being kryptonited, so he's powerless. And Lex Luthor shoots the guy in the head, and he says a joke right after that. And if they show it, which is great, I loved it. I was like, yeah, this is great. Like, but then they show a joke, so it's like you don't get that weight of Superman grappling with the fact that he's kind of responsible, but not really at the same time. Like, Superman feels responsible, and you want to feel that with him, but you don't get that because it's a joke instantly. I mean, it works for, like, they could have just had Lex Luthor shoot the guy and Lex Luthor say something like that isn't a joke, and that would have made Lex Luthor more menacing, and it would have made Superman feel something, and you would have felt something. But they get rid of it as a joke. Another scene where the emotional weight's gone. The typical Pa Kent talking to his son Superman about who he needs to be. It's in every film. And this is going to be that emotional scene between a son and a father. And the words were fine, but the thing was the actor, no fault to the actor, he has something medically wrong with his eye, where it's moving like this fast. I don't know what it's called. It's something. And it's moving really, really fast. The problem is they do a close-up like this of his face. And all you can see is his eye moving super fast. So he's delivering the scene, and they do a close-up of him. And then the first thing you think of is not like, oh, the words that are coming out of his mouth is very sentimental, blah, 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 emotional weight. You go, what's wrong with that guy's eye? What's going on? It's very distracting. Even my wife turns to me, she's like, what's wrong with his eye? Is that supposed to happen? And I'm like, no. And all they had to do is go into post-production, take some CGI, and fix the actor's eye. That's it. You lose the emotional weight. And you could have had an emotional scene, but it's gone. And that was the only emotional scene that you could have got out. And it was handicapped or ruined because of the actor's eye. And no fault to the actor. He just obviously has a medical condition. You could have fixed that in post. It would have cost you next to nothing, taking a half hour. Like, it wasn't a big thing to fix. You're fixing everything else. So that, it's like the emotional weight. There's a lot of scenes like that with a joke, with something. It just doesn't work. And that's, they should have taken a page out of Wild Robot. Now, if you want some emotional scenes, that has a ton. But, yeah, so the emotional weight, that's why I downgrade it, is because it could have been great. This movie could have been great. It could have made you feel everything. But the parts where they're going for it, it's not like, oh, we're not going to go for an emotional scene. This is not that type of movie. There's going to be none of that. They go for it. And they just fumble it over and over and over. And it's just like, why? Why would you do that? You literally could have had this great scene. Another thing that's really stupid is every single human in this is retarded. Just this so dumb. It's just like, there's a giant monster coming after you, as big as a building, knocking over buildings left and right. And they just want to sit there and stare at it. And they're like, oh my God, look at this monster. It's about to step on me. It's like all these people are suicidal. They just want to kill themselves, hoping that Superman will save them. And that's what half the film. It's Superman like saving people. He even saves a squirrel, which is funny. But he said, like, and I like that. I like that aspect. But these people are so dumb. It made me so mad because there's many, many scenes like this. There's many, many scenes where it's like the whole world is going to get destroyed, or there's a giant monster who's going to destroy all these buildings. And every person, there's some people that run, but majority of the people just sit there and wait. There's literally a giant Godzilla-type monster breaking down buildings. And what's everyone doing on the 100th floor with they could see the monster all glass and they look at it? They're working and they're watching. And Superman literally has to save them from the monster falling on the building. You are retarded. You would be running out of that building. You'd be running out as fast as you could because you didn't want to get killed. There's another time where James Gunn's let's show the perspective of the person in the cafe. There's a guy pouring coffee, working in a cafe, looks outside. Oh, giant monster's about to step on me. I'm going to go back to pouring coffee. Are you kidding me? Then at the end, there's a part, Lex Luthor splits the earth in half. And there's these people at a party. And they just watch it as this splitting comes closer and closer to them. They don't do anything. They don't run. They just drink their cocktail. Oh, this is another Saturday. World's getting destroyed. Superman will save us. And then the girlfriend, after it goes paying back to him, the girlfriend's like, should we leave this party to save ourselves, basically? And the boyfriend or whatever was like, it's too late. We're going to die. There's no urgency. All these people stay in the buildings. It's just it's so stupid. Everyone would be running. Every single person. It just makes me so mad because there's so many scenes like that where it's just I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. And then, if I die, I die. Oh, well, I'm going to hope for Superman to save me. They're all suicidal. Every person in here is suicidal and is just hoping to get saved. They're all massive fans of Superman and I'm going to put myself in harm's way so I can get saved. It's just so dumb. That made me so angry because it wasn't just once. It was over and over and over. Another thing that was so stupid was the end fight scene. It was so dumb because Lex Luthor, the way he controls Ultraman is like a video game. But he yells out. It's like chess. He yells, 1A, 2B. These are the moves that he wants to do. He doesn't do it himself. He literally has his assistants he has 20 assistants. They all have video game controllers. And they're all controlling Ultraman. It's just so dumb. It's just first of all, Superman's super fast. So by the time you could think of this move that you want to do on Superman, and then you yell it to your assistant, and then your assistant types it in, Superman would already done whatever move he's going to do. And the dumb thing is, Lex Luthor is super smart, right? He's all about brains over brawn. And the dumb thing is he studied 30,000 different fight scenarios with Superman. And he has them all memorized. What a waste of time to memorize all that. First of all, you're not going to. Why not just build an AI? You built an interdimensional portal. Why not just build an AI that can automatically know what move Superman's going to do and counters it? There, simple, right? So he's yelling out these moves because you want to make it, it's like chess. But it comes off as so stupid because in the end, Superman destroys the little cameras that Lex Luthor is using to watch the fight scene so he could yell out the fight moves. It's just imagine playing a video game and you're playing Ken from Street Fighter. And instead of controlling Ken yourself, you're just yelling to someone else to do it. This is stupid. The whole thing. If you did that, whoever you're battling would defeat you because that lag time between you yelling out and the person typing it in, it's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. And then, how do they defeat him? He has another metahuman that fights against Superman, and she is all nanites. And she puts it down Superman's throat so he can't breathe. So what does he do? He flies super high. So Ultraman and Nanite Girl are on Superman. And he flies super high. And you think, I know what he's going to do. He's going to fly to the sun. Why? Because the sun powers him. And it'll probably disintegrate Nanite Girl and disintegrate Ultraman. So you think he's doing it. No, he flies really high. And then it just falls. And then all of a sudden, Nanite Girl's like, this fall is going to kill me. But never once did you think she was underpowered where the fall is going to kill her. Because she's getting punched by Superman massively. So you think a fall wouldn't kill her. Nope. She falls. All the nanites, they go away. But she's alive. She's breathing, but knocked out. And so he pulls the nanites out. And then you think, Ultraman's killed too. Nope. Ultraman gets up, and he has his mask on. Takes off the mask. It's a clone of Superman. So Lex Luthor cloned him, and he's as dumb. So that's why Lex Luthor has to basically give the moves to do. And the dumb Superman, basically has to memorize all the moves too. So when he yells at 15F, he knows exactly what it is or something, or he controls them somehow. I don't know. Because at the end, when Krypto destroys all the cameras, so Lex Luthor can't control him, the Ultraman can fight just fine. And the thing was, they should have flown into the sun killed the nanite girl. Superman comes back to Earth. And then, whoa, who comes back? Ultraman. Why? You think he's going to get disintegrated by the sun? Nuh-uh. Lo and behold, he's a clone of Superman. So he just got more powerful. Boom. Done. That would have been a better ending to that fight scene. You would have had a twist right there where you think Ultraman's dead because he flew into the sun, but he's not because he's a clone of Superman. And Nanite Girl is dead. So there's a lot of dumb things. But again, there's a lot of things I like. I love Mr. Terrific. I thought he was really, really good. I thought Guy Gardner was really good. They were both scene stealers for me. Mr. Terrific was probably, him and Crypto were probably the best, in my personal opinion. I know I'm harping on the negative, but it's fun. You're gonna laugh a lot, but yeah, it's a 7 out of 10. So it's not the best, honestly. You know, I don't really watch movies twice, so I probably won't watch this again. Maybe like years down the line, I'll watch it, or I think my dad's birthday is coming up, and so maybe he wants to see it, so I'll have to watch it again. I'll watch it at a normal theater. Maybe I'll have a better time because it won't be so loud. But yeah, I would say it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. Like, you'll have a good time. You'll have fun. But if you're expecting more, like those emotional scenes, like that's what I expect in movies. Like I want like the whole gamut of emotions. You're not going to get that here. You're not going to get the emotional weight. There's going to be a lot of stupid things, but it's not dumb enough where it's going to take you out of the film. So it's just hitting there. Other than that, yeah. Let me know what you think.